Welcome back to Tech, Tesla, and Trends. Tonight, I'm going to return to Elon's multidimensional thought process. In previous videos, I've discussed point 4, which is reasoning. And in particular, I've already discussed first principles thinking and bias, the elimination of bias. I wanted to touch base on two other points that I feel fit into this, that are evident as I've studied SpaceX more and feel they are relevant to how Elon thinks. And in this case, it is break the rules that everyone knows. So when we break the rules that everyone knows, we are essentially taking the established knowledge, examining it, questioning it, and determining whether or not that rule has value. And if it doesn't, then it's time to discard that rule entirely, or perhaps just a portion thereof that needs to be discarded. But it's important that you ask the questions from a curiosity perspective. If we are paying attention to what we think we know and what we think others know, perhaps we are focused solely on those rules. And those rules do have some experience-based knowledge. That does not mean that they are perfect, that there is not room for improvement. That's one of the reasons why it's important to stay curious and to question the rules that you're operating under. The worst thing I hear anytime I'm examining a process or having a conversation with a company that's trying to understand what they're doing is, well, we've always done it this way. That's an instant fail. And the reason for that is there's no reason why you do something if we've always done it that way. If you'd always done something that way, perhaps we'd still be riding in horse-drawn buggies. Not something that I think anybody actually wants, except for maybe those horse-crazy girls that I know. It's okay for them to desire to ride a horse because that's what they like. But in the case of transportation and the future of what we are building as a company, no, that's the way we've always done it, is a good reason to re-examine every ounce of that process, every step, in a manner that will enable you to determine, yes, that is sound policy, or no way, we need to stop doing that right now. It's costing us money, and we thought we were saving money with it. This is the primary reason why breaking the rules everyone knows is necessary, because it's doing things just because we've always done them that way. The fourth item in this: turn established old guard processes on their head while looking for disruptive opportunities. Now, this is not the same thing as breaking the rules. And the reason it's not is we are looking for an opportunity for reviewing not just a process or just an idea. This is structural. This is turning how something works on its head. In this case, let's think about solar on the rooftop. This is one of Elon's founding principles. If you have solar on the rooftop feeding into a battery system, then that house is no longer required to be part of the grid. It is energy neutral or independent. Now, it does have the opportunity through auto bidder to participate in selling energy back to the grid. That's a wonderful opportunity, and we'll see how useful that remains when every house is energy independent. But perhaps from a construction standpoint or a factory perspective, there'll be excess energy necessary to be bought and sold. Time will tell on that. But turning that process on its head, what was it before? Before, the power company would generate the electricity, and then it would sell it to you as a customer, and then you would consume it, and that was the end of it. Standing it on its head, we're collecting power or energy at the source where used to be consumed. And then potentially we're transmitting it backwards towards the middle point there, which would have been the substations, so that it can be redistributed out to the grid wherever it's needed. The thing that is important in this principle is that we are not accepting the old way just because it was the old way. We're not discarding it either. What we're looking for is, as you turn it on its head, looking at the process in reverse, are there things that used to be true that are no longer true? And in that process, if you're able to either A, eliminate something, or B, tweak and modify something that brings out an efficiency or an improved cost perspective, this makes the entire process better for everyone. So looking at our overall reasoning module, it's important to break the rules, utilizing first principles thinking, and examining our biases while turning the old process or old ways on their head. This reasoning module and exercise is evident in the things that Elon does by virtue of the questions he asks. I'm sure there are some other questions that you might have for this particular module. I'd love to hear them in the comment section. For now, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.